All right, happy Thursday night, everybody. Welcome on into the Hat Creek Interior Studios. That's right. They are dedicated to delivering a superior customer experience to you at Hat Creek Interiors. You don't have to own a ranch to live like it, to have all the cool stuff. So check out their showroom, 10101 South Slide Road in Lubbock, Texas. Go to hatcreek.us. They ship anywhere in the known U.S., known universe. And they're not just the best regionally, they're the best nationally for really cool Western style furniture. We are so pleased to be working with Hat Creek Interiors and Corey Flanagan and his people. All right, we got stuff to do tonight. All right, Texas Tech football, biggest game since when? The most important game for Texas Tech football being played this weekend in Salt Lake City against Utah. Most important game since when? Give me a year, give me a game, give me anything. Because it really is. I wish this game were being played in November. I really do. Maybe late October, November. You tell us tonight, over, underrated, right. On Thursdays, we get to rating things. Today, let's talk about overrated, underrated, and rated right Big 12 fan bases. You've seen them. You've experienced them now a couple of years, the new, the old, and everything in between. Give us the fan bases that have impressed you, that you thought would be great and weren't great, that you thought would suck and they're actually great. Give me that tonight, and then we can have a First Amendment discussion. And with the backdrop of Jimmy Kimmel getting suspended from his little show on ABC and everything else, I've lived my entire life with the laws surrounding what you can say and not say on air, what you can say with an employer, not say with an employer. I was actually educated on these matters at Texas Tech University. We can have a discussion because I think the reason most folks don't understand the First Amendment are threefold. One, they're ignorant on it. Two, some people are dumb. Three, they know it, they don't like it. We can have that discussion tonight if you want to. I look forward to it. Let's have some fun. In three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. You started your day checking out the Raiderland hot links this morning. Coolest, best, freshest links brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas. They can handle all your meat processing needs. They can give you great world-famous jerky. They can sell you ribeyes. They can do all sorts of stuff. Your tailgate's not complete if you're not working with Jackson Brothers, and they ship anywhere. We're in the Hat Creek Interior Studios, as we aforementioned. Tonight brought to you by McAlpin Chiropractic. That's right, Kevin McAlpin, great Red Raider. He's worked with high-level Texas Tech athletes for decades. He can help you. Weekend warrior, going out there, doing stuff. You got the pickleball injury, or maybe you're just pulling weeds, and all of a sudden things ain't right. You need to get a hold of Kevin McAlpin. Tell him we said hey. Also by Gators Bayou, 98th and Slide, Lubbock, Texas. Hot Cajun food, ice cold drinks, more TVs than you can shake a stick of frog legs at, and they got frog legs on the menu. They also got really good food, and they're opening early this weekend for Texas Tech and Utah. I believe they're going to open at 10:30. Get there early. Seriously, they got frog legs. It's really good. All right, you guys jump in tonight. This is the biggest Tech game since when? The most important Texas Tech football game since when? You tell me, overrated, underrated, rated, right? And we'll talk about the First Amendment tonight if you want to. I'll have the discussion. I want you guys, by the way, who are just joining, whether you're on Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, free, always free, all platforms free. Hit like, hit share. On our YouTube channel for Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, if you're on there, hit like, hit share, invite people in. And then all of our great Twitter X people at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter X. All right, let's get it going. You guys get your comments in, your questions in. The show is only as good as you make it. Truly it is. That we give you the opportunity to get in, to comment. We give you the opportunity for dialogue and discourse. The show really is only as good as you make it. I mean, I can make it great. I can tell you what I think, and people will love it and, ask for more. But really, it's only good when you guys are good. Michael, if Tech loses, we don't want them to lose. Will the biggest game for Tech this year be Arizona State and Tempe? Well, if you assume and you think that Arizona State's still going to be a player and that would be who you have to beat, I mean, really, if Tech loses, or even if they lose, I believe this is a loser leave town game for the Big 12 title championship game. I don't think, given the schedule and who you play and who you don't play, Baylor for one for Tech, you're playing with fire scarecrow if you don't win this game. I don't see a two conference loss Texas Tech team getting to the Big 12 title game. So if you lose this game, Michael, every game is the biggest game you play, 100% the rest of the way. I don't think you can lose. Jeff jumps in. You guys can get in on the United Supermarkets chat line. Yeah, it's a 10, 11 o'clock start our time. They'll be ready. You can wake up and go, oh, man, we got people coming over. We don't have anything. You can run over there real quick. United, they'll get you taken care of. We ask, this is the biggest Tech game since when? Biggest Tech game since 2008 versus UT. I would respectfully disagree. That after that game, the biggest game then became the game at Oklahoma. So if you want to go back that far, then it would not be UT. And then you beat Oklahoma State after that. Everybody forgets about the Oklahoma State game. You boat race those people. The game in 08 would be Oklahoma from an opportunity standpoint and everything else. So when I ask the question, if you want to go back that far, because really, what are we talking about right now? What are we talking about with this game? We're talking about a chance to play for a Big 12 title, right? That if you win it, you haven't done anything. You're not there yet. But if you don't win it, it becomes immensely harder to do what you want to do. So that this game sets up bigger games down the road, that every game becomes infinitely bigger. So I ask you tonight, biggest game since when? What do you got for me? This is the biggest game Texas Tech, or maybe the most anticipated game for you? You tell me that. Overrated, underrated, rated right, Big 12 fan bases. Which fans have you come to respect? Which fans do you go, wow, not so good. Thought they'd be better. Thought they'd have more for us, sharing everything else. All right, we got to go back up a little bit. Heath is on Twitter, X at Ryan Hyatt Media. He says, we're going to the ASU game, going to turn Tempe into West Texas. It's all West Texas. He's got the cactus there in the deal. Every Big 12 game is big. Just win, baby, win. Okay, but yeah, some are bigger than others. And then he says, Utah fans are awful. I don't know that I've met 3 Utah fans in all the time I've been doing anything. I really don't. Lynn jumps in on Facebook. About time the Facebook people get here tonight. Southwest Conference when Houston beat Tech for the championship. All right, so that game actually was played with 3 games left. Texas Tech and Houston meet. Texas Tech top 5. Houston was 8. Rodney Allison throws an interception in the end zone, 1976. Houston wins the game. Texas Tech wins out, but they tie for the championship with Houston. Houston tiebreak, which the tiebreak back then was who had sucked the longest and hadn't gone to the Cotton Bowl. Houston wins on the tiebreak. They go and play Maryland? Somebody look that up. Did Houston play Maryland that year? That can't be right. No, they played Notre Dame. Tech plays Nebraska. Vince Ferragamo in the Astro Bluebonnet Bowl. Nebraska wins. So Lynn going all the way back to 1976. Maybe the bigger game. No, I mean, that was a big game. All right. Jeff, TCU fans are the total suck. Not just suck, the total suck. mean, they are who we thought they were. TCU is who we thought they were when the Southwest Conference broke up and the Big 12 was created, and they weren't a part of it. And there was a reason they weren't a part of it. They don't show up to games. They are who they've always been. It's a small private school that the Metroplex doesn't give two damns about. Sorry, Sonny, but they don't. No matter how much you win, nobody cares about TCU football. Hey, same thing, SMU. Dallas is a pro sports town now. It wasn't in the early 60s, late 50s when Don Meredith is playing at SMU and Sonny Gibbs at TCU. But Dallas is a pro sports town now. No more than us. And then it's not even a pro sports town. It's a winner's town. If the Stars are winning, people go. The cocaine and boob job crowd, they show up. Little Mavericks win, they show up. Rangers win, they show up. Rangers don't win, they don't show up. Cowboys are the only one that are kind of immune to that because Cowboy fans are dysfunctional in the brain and they just keep supporting Jerry Jones after 30 years of ineptitude. All right. Tom, double T-Rex. I can remember Tech handily beating Utah Utes even before the Houston game. Yeah, what was that game? Like in the early 70s or whatever? Something. It's like grandchildren maybe could be involved, but really doesn't matter. They don't have anything to do with it. This is the biggest Texas Tech game since fill in the blank. Overrated, underrated, rated right. Big 12 fan bases. You know, when we do shows like this, sometimes other fans from other conferences tune in, or other conferences, other schools tune in. And they're like, "Oh, what are they saying about us? What are they talking about us?" Utah fan. Hey, it's a safe harbor for Utah fans. I ain't got nothing about you, Utah fans. If you want to jump in and have some fun with us this week, I got no problem with the Utah fans whatsoever. I know a lot of people on the internets and on Twitter X and on stuff, you know, they go back and forth. I got nothing for you. I really don't care. And I mean that in the nicest possible way for any of the Utah fans watching right now. I don't care. I keep hearing about Rice Eccles in this stadium. And I thought, you know, a couple of years ago, people talk about Rice Eccles. My God, it's got to be like 75, 80,000. It's 52. It's a nice Texas high school stadium for the most part, looking at it. There'll be some people there, and they'll yell loud. It's nothing you hadn't seen around these parts, you know? Tom jumps back in. I've dated myself. That's kinky and weird, but whatever you're into, Tom. I remember that Joe Ely album behind you. Saw the group many times at the Cotton Club. So yeah, the Joe Ely album right there. Boom. The 1977 Joe Ely eponymous named album. Autographed by Ely, autographed by Paul Milosevic, the artist who created that image. And I saved it from KTXT, the campus radio station, years ago. So there you go. And I've lost count how many times I've seen Joe Ely. So it's strength on strength in this game, right? Strength on strength. I keep looking at the numbers, the players, quarterbacks. Two good quarterbacks in this, man. Dan Pierre is everybody's Kyler Murray. And the nation is just now waking up to Baron Morton going, holy crap, maybe we've been talking about the wrong quarterback from the state of Texas. Look at Baron Morton. Look at this healthy guy slinging it around. But I keep coming back to the idea that it's strength on strength, and it's their offensive line, 5 returning starters, like 200 combined stars. I don't know, something ridiculous. 2 All-American candidates, Fano and Lomu. Great offensive linemen. And then I look at Texas Tech's defensive line and I say, okay, if you're who we think you are, Bailey's who we think we are, if Romello Hyde is who we think we are, that if these guys are who we think they are, then this is strength on strength. This is a great matchup to watch. that we look at this and we go, okay, what a wasted game for September. But you play the game when you play the game. So I look at the matchup and I look at the offensive line for OU, pardon me, for Utah, and I take Dampier out of the equation and go, anybody's going to look good behind that offensive line, right? Can the defensive line mitigate Dampier's running ability? And again, he's like a Kyler Murray build. He looks like Kyler Murray, a little taller. If you're taller than David Collier, you're taller than Kyler Murray. We'll see if Collier's on right now. When we go to make the predictions tomorrow, that's the first thing I start with is the lines, offense versus defense. And you can say what you want about Texas Tech not having played anybody. Tell me who Utah's really played that you just absolutely go, well, that proves they're awesome, right? That proves it. Who is it? Meanwhile, back on the United Supermarkets chat line, Glenn, 2 Utes robbed the second sons. Baylor fans overrated. The Baylor line is dumb, says Chris. So the Baylor line, a bunch of freshman kids running out there in yellow shirts. Dumb, he says. He says it's dumb. Tom, Natalie Main's daddy Lloyd played pedal steel guitar. Yes, he did. He played, Lloyd Maines played and produced every Joe Ely album, played on steel and produced every Ely album up until 5 years ago. I'd have to look on that. And maybe he got producer credit. Texas Tech and K-State fans are rated right. BYU fans, says Chris, underrated. And then JC tuning in, chiming in. They're on the YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Free, man. Like it don't cost nothing. No clue on fan bases. Tech plenty good. TCU and Houston can fight for Seller. And I hear Morgantown is intriguing. I've been there a couple of times. I don't know that it's intriguing. The fake Natalie Maines. I'm going to have a sip before we get into this one. I mean, it's that long. Look! I can't even see above it to read it. I got to get like. Dearest of all known Hyatts, how are you? I am fine. I am quite well for the shape I'm in fact. I've got some new allergy meds that are really kicking ass right now. They dry me out without like completely drying me out. Feel good. The gout's doing. No, I'm just kidding. Tech fans like to complain about other fan bases. However, our students who think they are from Dallas proper often struggle to sing the national anthem of the Fight Raiders fight correctly. Agreed. By the way, don't yell stars. That's a Dallas Stars thing. You're not a Dallas Stars team. You're not a Dallas team. Do not yell stars during the national anthem. Thank you. The fight song, don't get me started. Here's the deal. I can stop any behavior I want. You know, I know this. I'm a parent. I raised a child into adulthood. And I realized early on that with draconian behavior, I could stop any behavior I wanted to stop if I were willing to go far enough to stop that behavior. I'd quit playing the fight song until they sing it right. You heard me, right? What's that? No Fight Raiders fight after a touchdown? Damn right. Sing it right or it's gone. I would winnow it out. I would go 4 years and get rid of the evil. I mean, God was willing to go 40 years in the desert. I can go 40 years on students at Texas Tech and go 4 years on them and say, you don't get to have Fight Raiders fight. I'm a harsh man. They frequently shout obscenities at other fan bases. I lived in Denver and used to attend many Colorado games. Their students are pretty rowdy. Pretty rowdy? They're drunk, crazy, and high, you son of a gun. All in all, I think the adult fan bases are okay, except for the Sips, but we don't play them anymore. I can change any behavior I want to change. Did y'all ever see the movie Crimson Tide? Yeah. John Curry's going to be in that quarterback's jersey all game. Listen, if John Curry can run down Dampier every play, my man, my Coronado Mustang man, the son of a former Lady Raider, Jolie Ayers, son of Super Bowl champion John Ayers. Okay. Or Joe. Pardon me. So, yeah. Hope you're right. That'd be awesome to see. Did the Utah, as Hollywood Mike Reiner says, Mike Reiner, coach come up under Urban Meyer when he was at Utah? He came in after Urban Meyer in 08 and comes in. And for the life of me, I don't think Whittingham was on that staff. I think he came in from somewhere else. So he comes in after. John F. and Curry. Mustang effort all the time. Hashtag Mustang effort. Mustang effort t-shirts, Mustang effort all the time. We had Mustang effort. We did not have Mustang talent. No, we did not in the 1980s. You know, we didn't have it. We tried, though. All right, where do we go from here? 8 minutes left. Show belongs to you. Always belongs to you. Are you guys sharing with your friends? Are you? Are you inviting them in on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook Live? Overrated, underrated, rated, right? Big 12 fan bases. You tell me. You guys are the ones who have to deal with them. Us in the media, we don't have to deal with them. You know, you guys have to deal with them. And you answer the question tonight. This is the biggest Texas Tech game since when? You tell me. There's a man who had a Mustang Pride t-shirt, and he was a prideful Mustang, and he was actually damn good as a Mustang. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't Trace's fault that we could not win a few more games than we won. He could only play one or two positions. Hey, Trace, did you ever play any on offense at all? Am I dreaming, or was there like one or two plays or something where they had you either at fullback or flanker back or tandem, like a blocking back? Am I dreaming that? Or maybe my dad wanted to do that and they wouldn't do it. I think my dad wanted to use you like as a fullback or something and they wouldn't do it. I think that's the case. I don't think they ever put you on offense junior, senior year. You know? Well, no, I mean in the backfield. Backfield. Talking backfield. Like, instead of Botkin back there, we put you back there. If we could have had you and Terrell at the same time, that would have been a good thing. That is hold on. Got to go back. That is a factual statement. Never. Dang it. We should have done it. Has Coronado ever had a Mustang car on their helmet as an alt uni? No, Randy. And okay, so funny story. Our senior year, me and Trace, we graduated in 1988. Our basketball team, and neither me or Trace played basketball. Although we tried to get Trace to play on our intramural team, and he wouldn't do it. Thanks. Even though we still won 2 years in a row. Our senior year, the home uniforms, Coronado Mustangs, right? So it says Coronado across the top, the number, and then they left off the S, and it was Coronado Mustang on the bottom. And we, that was kind of the running joke, Coronado Mustang. I always thought it would have been cool. So Coronado, I believe the first year was 1966. What if instead of the actual horse Mustang, it had been the 66 cherry red Mustang? That would have been cool. We could have had some fun with that. We didn't do it. Yeah, well. Yeah. The uniform said Coronado Mustang. JC will have to endure an urban homecoming during Big Noon. Biggest game forever because of upside. Agreed for Texas Tech. Oregon and Lubbock could have been bigger, but didn't turn out. No, it really wouldn't have been. Because even if you win, it really does nothing for you going forward. This actually does something for you. I think this W will be bigger. Yeah. This is the biggest thing in 15, 20 years to win this game. What it sets up. Now, you've done nothing when you win. If I can channel my dad, you've done nothing until you do something again next week. But if you do win this, if Texas Tech does win this game, it sets up things that you have not had set up in years. Ford Mustang, our yearbook cover. What year was that? I know this. It was our sophomore year because I had to. I don't know, I had like a semester where I had to work on the yearbook or something for, I don't know why, like punishment or something. No, it was our sophomore year. I'm pretty sure. I think it was our sophomore year we had to do that. All right, you guys have been good. This is where I get to do a little editorializing, and by that I mean the whole thing is an editorial, and I do what I do, you know? So why can't folks understand the First Amendment? Well, it boils down to three simple reasons. One, they're ignorant. They haven't been educated. They really don't know constitutional law. They really don't know much about government. And they hear things like First Amendment and free speech, and I can say anything I want, and blah, whatever. So the first reason they don't understand it, they're ignorant. They just truly don't know. They've never been educated. The second reason, they're dumb. There are probably at any given moment out there about 40% of the country I think is dumb. They're just not bright. They're not intelligent. They're not watching this show. They're not JC. They're not Trace. They're not Timbo. They're not you guys. So we got to take, 30, 40% of the populace and just say, hey, you guys aren't really bright. Yeah, we're going to let you vote. We're going to let you do these things and everything else. The most dangerous ones, though, when it comes to the First Amendment, are the ones who are not ignorant, who are not dumb, but rather understand it, know it, and don't like it. That they don't like the aspect of it, that it applies strictly 100% to government. Let's go back to the Obama years. And Obama was famous for saying, and rightfully so, even though he meant it as a pejorative, that the United States Constitution is a negative document. Now, a lot of people meant that to say, took that to say that he was saying that it's a bad document, it's whatever. No. It's a negative document. He didn't like that because it was a limitation on what the federal government can do. Remember, the federal government was created by the states, ratified by the states, and that every aspect of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and every amendment after that was ratified by the states. There's no such thing as the federal government. We created it, the states created it. But there are a lot of people who don't like the fact that the Constitution limits the federal government while strengthening the state government's 50 different incubators of democracy. So Obama used that term as a negative document. Well, that's where freedom of speech comes in within the First Amendment, that it is a negative to the federal government and to a lesser extent state governments, as we have seen adjudicated at the Supreme Court level and otherwise, on what they can do to you. We talk about prior restraint. Prior restraint means the government can't come in and tell you can't do that, you can't say that, and we're not going to put you in jail for that. That's you can't do that. Freedom of speech means that the government can't come at you. The federal government can't come at you if you say certain things and put you in jail. At least it used to be that way. And then we saw Dinesh D'Souza, and we saw different things that have happened over the last 10 years. And they have moved that way in certain aspects. That's a different deal. So we get to Jimmy Kimmel and the people on the left screaming, First Amendment, freedom of speech. Federal government didn't do anything. Well, they were going to take away their license. The FCC was going to take away their. That's why they fired him. No, that's not why they fired him. They fired him because two major media companies, Sinclair and Nextera Media, who own the vast majority of ABC affiliates. Now, this is another conversation we're going to have about so many, so many affiliates being owned by so few people. Different deal. But Sinclair and Nexstar said, "You're killing us. This guy's killing us." One, his ratings are crap. You can get away with anything if your ratings are good. His ratings are crap. Fourth place. Horrible. And now it wasn't ABC National that people were calling. It was the local desk in Lubbock, Texas, KMAC 28, that people were complaining. Those affiliates are not going to go down. So they said, no, we're not going to do it. So he's gone. Kimmel's gone. Government didn't do it. Well, man, they're trying to do a merger, and the FCC. The FCC is so defanged these days, people, compared to 20, 25, 35 years ago. It's basically worthless. So we get back to the First Amendment. What does the First Amendment protect? It protects your ability, minus just walking into a insightful speech manner and getting people killed, the old movie theater, shouting fire in a movie theater, all that stuff. It protects you from the government. It does not protect you from your employer. And believe me, I've had a lot of employers over the years. And one of the greatest things I ever did was not have an employer and go to work for myself. So I answer to me, but I still don't answer to me completely because I still have sponsors, and any sponsor at any time can wake up and say, we don't have anything, want to have anything to do with you. They're right. Ain't nobody gonna cry for me, and I get it, and I live with that every day. But I worked for decades with somebody down the hall telling me, "Hey, we didn't like what you said. We didn't like how you did that show. We didn't like what you said about tech. We got a couple of calls, and they didn't like it." I had to balance, and I had to decide every day, what was I going to say? What was I not going to say? So Jimmy Kimmel had bosses, and his bosses decided yesterday, you're not worth it. You're not worth it. That no matter how cute your parents think you are, you're not worth it. That's not the government. That's not free speech. That's not Trump doing anything. And that people can't understand that is a failing of our school systems, a failing of everything. And I know some teachers are on here watching right now. There's one right there, Chris. As an eighth grade history teacher, it drives me crazy. These people have no idea what freedom of speech actually means. And I know you've done your best, you've done your best. Will Rogers on campus said, you can't go broke underestimating the intelligence of the U.S. population. Agreed on that. ABC affiliates and yeah, Mama's home. Yeah, dogs barking, things happening, everything else. And indeed, it is the free market. And the underpinning of the United States of America is the free market. The free market is the United States Constitution. Think about it for a minute. It really is. The underpinnings of the Constitution are all based on the free market, of limiting the federal government, strengthening the state government, strengthening the people, and letting the chips fall where they may. I have people that I love and respect on my personal Facebook page right now that are, opining and everything, free speech, and when we and they don't get it, and they're smart, they're educated. They don't get it because they're dumb and they're not dumb. They're ignorant. I don't think they're ignorant. They don't like it. They don't like it, is what it all boils down to, in my opinion, when it comes to how this operates. When a Colbert gets fired, when okay, I'll give you this one too. They came at me last night. Well, what about Brian Kilmeade, who said in a flippant move on Fox News, I think over the weekend, well, you got all these homeless people if they won't take drugs and they won't get better and they won't accept health and they're dangerous and everything else, well, maybe we just ought to euthanize them. Stupid, dumb to say on the air. Brian Kilmeade does that a lot, by the way. Opinion. He didn't state it as a fact the way Jimmy Kimmel stated as a fact that the killer of Charlie Kirk was MAGA and that MAGA had been trying to hide the fact that he was MAGA. No, Jimmy Kimmel tried to state facts and distort reality and do it deliberately for a political gain and political reason. He did. Kilmeade, dumb. To which I replied to the poster on my Facebook page. I said, if Fox wanted to suspend Kilmeade, 100% do it. Because that's stupid. That's dumb. And it's an opinion. It's an opinion to say, hey, we ought to euthanize, mentally ill people who refuse treatment or are going to kill people, and we're afraid they're going to kill people. Okay, that's an opinion. That's not a statement of fact. But that's a dumb thing to say. So if they wanted to suspend him, if they had come out and said, we're going to suspend you for 2, fine, whatever you want to do. That Fox decided not to do that, decided that it didn't rise to the level that and let's be crass again, business related, that it wasn't hurting our business. Now, I think one of the biggest things is that really, if I were Brian Kilmeade, I would be disappointed if I weren't suspended, because that tells me that nobody's paying attention to Brian Kilmeade. I'd be like, really? I said something that dumb and they're not going to, I don't matter? But again, it's the understanding of the First Amendment. I don't care about anything beyond the understanding of the First Amendment in relation to the people freaking out about what happened with Jimmy Kimmel. Don't scream First Amendment. Don't scream that. Don't be stupid. Okay? Don't be stupid. Because it gets back to the point of one of 3 things. You're dumb, you're ignorant, or you're willfully doing it. Take your pick if you're on that point. All right, we had fun tonight. Enjoyed it. We will be back tomorrow, our Friday prediction show. Man, Dampier versus Texas Tech's defense. 3rd down versus Utah. Texas Tech pass efficiency defense. 23rd nationally. Utah, 11th nationally. Strength on strength tomorrow. I cannot wait for this game. It's going to be a great game. I want you to do a couple of things for us tonight. The power of 5 if you're watching right now. 5 people every night can go to our sponsors and say, hey, thanks for supporting what we do in Raiderland. McAlpin Chiropractic on Facebook. Gators Bayou on Facebook. United Supermarkets, Market Street on Facebook. Hat Creek Interiors, here in the Hat Creek Interiors studio on Facebook. 5 people, go there, do it, and then come back and tell us you did it on Facebook. And I don't know, I'm going to have to come up with a prize or something, or like rewards for y'all doing this. Then I want you to share this. We're going to post it on the website, theraiderland.com. Jump back in the morning, first thing in the morning. The most Texan thing you've done this week. If you hadn't done anything really Texan, go out and do it right now. All right. Let's rock and roll. Let's have a great night. Let's have some fun tonight. We'll see everybody tomorrow morning, bright and early on the website at